Today I'm going to show you how to draw blocks in 1 point or parallel perspective. I've got my pencil, which is already sharpened and ready to go, and I've got an extra eraser. So at the top of my page, I'm just going to write the title, 1 point perspective. You could also write parallel perspective or linear perspective, that would be fine. Okay, so there I've got my title. Now, I'm going to take my ruler, or my straight edge, and I'm going to start by drawing the horizon across the middle of the page. And this is approximately the middle. If it's a little too high or a little too low, you're totally fine. Generally, in the middle of your page. And this line is going to serve as my horizon line. So this is a horizontal line through the middle of my paper. And if you were looking out the window, this would be the line, which would be your eye level. Or the horizon is also known where the land or sea meet the sky. So I'm going to write on this line, this is my horizon. So I'm going to label it as such. And then I'm also going to label on the horizon, above the horizon, and below the horizon. That's important to know because if you're drawing something above the horizon, you won't see the top of something that's above you. You'll only see the bottom of the box. If it's on the horizon or at your eye level, you won't see the top or the bottom. You'll just see the side of the box. And then if it's something below you, you might see the top of it, but you definitely won't see the bottom of it. So I'm ready to go, and I'm going to add my vanishing point. This is the point that's going to be in the middle of your paper that all the boxes will go back to. Now, the vanishing point doesn't need to be in the middle, but especially for beginners, that's a good place to put it to start. So I've got my vanishing point. Now, today you're going to have to draw about 6 boxes, and next class you're going to have to do a few more. So I wouldn't draw super large boxes. I want you to take your ruler. You probably don't have a square tracer at home, so you want to use a ruler. You're going to draw 3 boxes, and one is going to be above the horizon, one is going to be on the horizon, and one is going to be below the horizon. And you want to space those out, okay? And they don't have to be the same size. I just happen to make mine the same size. But you want them all on the same side of your paper. And if you look, my boxes are not in line with each other. They don't need to be in line with each other. I'm also going to erase the horizon line where it goes through this box. Now, right now, these boxes are shapes. They are two-dimensional. They don't look like they're 3D. They're not in perspective yet. What I have is just the front flat side, and that is called the key shape. All of these are key shapes, okay? So, but I just need you to label one. But if you want to go through and label all 3 key shapes, you can as well. So if you don't have this much done, you'll probably want to pause the video at this point and do these steps. So you could keep this open to look at the video and follow along. And when you get to this point, you can go ahead and play. But for now, I will pause it if you're not to this step yet. Okay. So I'm assuming you've got this and we're ready to continue. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to learn about oblique lines. Oblique lines are lines of sight that go from the corner of the object back to the vanishing point. We're going to start with the top box. So if a box is above you, I'm going to take the corner and the line of sight is going to go back to the vanishing point. So I'm taking my ruler and I'm matching it up with the vanishing point and the corner, and I'm drawing that back. And I'm going to do this side here. So I'm going to draw this side. And then I'm also going to do the bottom of the box as well. Okay. I don't need to draw the top of the box because I can't see it. And also if I drew this, it would be sort of an invisible line. So I don't need this top of our corner. Okay. These lines going back to the vanishing point are called oblique lines. O-B-L-I-Q-U-E. Oblique lines. And you only need to label one. Okay. So I've got my oblique lines. Then I'm going to go to my middle shape, the shape that's on the horizon line. This one, because it's at my eye level, I don't see the bottom and I don't see the top. I'm just going to see the side. So what I'm doing now is I'm drawing just the 2 closest points of the square to the vanishing point. So I'm matching that up carefully. Okay. So now I've got the top box, the middle box, and now I'm going to move on to the bottom. Now this one has 3 oblique lines. It's got the corner closest to the vanishing point, and it's got this bottom corner, and then it's got this far corner here as well. So this has 3 oblique lines. What I'd like you to do at this point is just pause the video and go ahead and add your oblique lines going back to your vanishing point. Okay, once you have those oblique lines, you're going to learn how to close off the boxes. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to erase this line that goes through the middle of the box. In most drawings, the horizon line is not straight. It's not something you're going to see. It's sort of an imaginary construct. You don't need it. You just need the vanishing point. And when you're done with your project, if it was a real landscape drawing or something, you wouldn't leave the point there. You would erase it, okay? Also, when you're working on your project, one thing you'll find is you'll end up erasing most of the oblique lines, so you do want to draw them lightly. Because we're just learning about it, you don't need to erase them or draw them lightly here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close off this side of the box. So I'm going to close the side of the top box. And I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to match it up along the edge of that side of the box. And I'm just going to pull it straight out. Because in one-point perspective, lines either go to the vanishing point or they're parallel. Either one. So to close up this side, I need a line that's parallel. So I'm going to go straight out and I'm going to close it up. Now, if I could have closed it up thinner, I could have closed it up thicker. But I closed it up at sort of a medium point. So this is my side. And I'm going to add a little shading in with my pencil. Okay, so I've got that side. Now I'm going to go to my middle box. My middle box also has a side that I want to create. And this one could be shorter, it could be longer, it could be about the same, whichever you like, same thing. And I'm going to close that up and add a little bit of shading. It's more about to show the fact that this is your three-dimensional side. Okay, and then the bottom box, same thing. I'm going to go to the side, I'm going to match my ruler up, and I'm going to pull it out directly so that I've got a side that is parallel to the side of the box. And I'm going to add some shading in here, just with the side of my pencil. Okay, so now I've got the sides to these 3 boxes. If you don't have this, pause, experiment, match your side up, pull it out so your line is parallel. Okay, so now we're ready for the last step. The last step is to create the top or bottom of the box. Now, if this box is above me, I won't see the top because it's taller than me. So it's above my eye level. So I'm only going to see the bottom of the box. And this is the trickiest part. You have to take your ruler or straight edge and match it up with the bottom of the box, and then you want to pull your line straight down until it meets this corner. And then you close it up. So if you look, this is a 90-degree angle, the corner of the box. This also has to be a 90-degree angle. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little shading. When I'm doing my own drawings, I always turn the paper. I try not to do it when I draw in a video, but it's still very tempting. Okay, on the bottom, same thing. The bottom box, I'm not going to see the bottom because it's below me. I'm just going to see the top. And I'm going to put this here. I'm going to set the straight edge on the top of the box, and I'm going to go straight up and close off the box. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little shading. So I've got my 3 boxes on, above, and below the horizon line. So for today, the only thing you have left to do is, if you've completed this, is you're going to go ahead and add 3 more boxes of your choice. So you can vary the size. They could all be below the horizon line. They could all be above, okay? They can be on an angle. Okay, they don't have to be straight. I'm going to put this sort of at a diagonal angle to show you what this would look like. But you're going to experiment with doing 3 more boxes on your own. So I'm going to do this one real quickly. If this box is below the horizon line, I'm not going to see the bottom of the box. I will see the top and the side. If the box was directly below the vanishing point, I would not see the top or the side. I would just see the top. But I'm taking my corners and I'm drawing them to my vanishing point, but I'm not going to do the far corner. So I'm matching it up, closing it off, just like this. So I've got my corners, now I'm closing it off. I'm setting my side against the side of the box, closing it. I'm going to match it to the top and go straight off, okay? Before I draw this, I want to show you, a lot of students sometimes do like this. They think, okay, I'm going to close the box, okay? That angle's wrong. Do you see how this is a 90-degree angle, but this is not a 90-degree angle? This is what erasers were invented for. So what you can do is match it up and make sure you pull it straight up. Don't think about what it's supposed to look like, just think about making the angle 90 degrees. So what you're going to do today is you're going to make sure that you have the following things labeled on your paper, that you have a title that says perspective, 1-point perspective. It could also say parallel or linear perspective. You should have labeled on, above, and below the horizon. You should have labeled the horizon and eye level. And then 1 key shape and 1 oblique line. So you're going to go ahead and do 2 more boxes, so you have a total of 6 boxes, and then you're set for today. So go ahead and get drawing, and I will check it during class. Thank you.